Good morning. I'm County Judge Richard Cortez, Chairman of the Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1. On March the 16th of 2020, Governor Greg Abbott granted a request by the Texas Attorney General, Ken Paxton, to temporarily suspend a limited number of open meetings laws to the extent necessary to allow telephonic or video conference meetings in response to this COVID-19. In accordance with those suspended rules, notice of this meeting of the Board of Directors of the Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 has been posted online for at least 72 hours. Although members of the board are not gathered in a central physical location, we will have a quorum in attendance at this meeting by video conference or telephone call. The board is meeting by use of Zoom software and telephone transmission, which allows two-way communication for members of the public during the public participation forum. This meeting is being broadcasted live online. As we would on any other in-person meeting, members of the public who have followed the instructions on the meeting notice will be permitted to participate in the public forum portion of the agenda. If you would like to participate in the public forum at a future meeting conducted by video conference or telephone call, please follow the instructions on the posted meeting notice. All other meeting procedures will adhere to board adopted procedures to the extent practical. We apologize in advance for any unforeseeable technical difficulties and ask for your patience as we navigate through these unprecedented conditions. The time now is 9:48 a.m. We will begin with a roll call.
David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
Eddie Cantu, Precinct 2.
Joe Flores, Precinct 3.
Ellie Torres, Precinct 4.
Richard Cortez, County Judge. Let the record reflect that the quorum of the board members are in attendance for this meeting. This is the same. Will you please lead us in prayer?
Definitely, yes, surely will, Judge. Let us pray. Father God, again, we give you many thanks for another day that you've given us to serve, Lord. We continue to pray for all our leadership, Lord, during this pandemic time, Lord. Continue to lift up the judge and the 4 commissioners, Lord. Continue to provide them your wisdom, Lord, your guidance, Lord, as they continue to make all the decisions that affect us all, Lord. Continue to pray for all the first responders, all the doctors, all the emergency personnel, Lord. Continue to watch over them, give them your insight, Lord, give them your protection over them, Lord, as they continue to treat all the individuals. We pray for them as well, Lord. We pray for all those that have been stricken sick, Lord, the families also, Lord, that are dealing with the loved ones, Lord. We lift them up to you, Lord. Put your hand of healing upon them, Lord. Give them your peace through your son, Jesus, Lord, for you know that everything is in your hands, under your control, Lord. We look to you for your guidance and everything that we do, Lord. We continue to ask for your protection over our families, over our workers, over our leadership, over our county, state, and nation, Lord. Continue to ask for all your guidance in all that we do, Lord. I ask this in your son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Did we have anybody for open forum, Butler?
No, sir, I do not. I believe we do not have anyone for open forum under drainage district at this time.
Then let's go on to the approval of the consent agenda.
Yes, sir, Judge. On the consent agenda, we have just a normal approval check register. We have some permits, some payments for vendors, and it has been reviewed by my staff, accounting and engineering. Everything's in order, sir.
Approved. We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5A.
Thank you, sir. 5A request approval of budget amendment to carry over December 31st, 2019 available budget into the District 2020 Capital Project Fund respective accounts. This facilitates the budgetary accounting for continued operation and construction of district projects that have been approved by the board in prior years. Fund 130 District Capital Projects, Fund 132 2008 Bond Series, Fund 133 2013 Bond Series, Fund 134 2014 Bond Series. Just for the record, under Fund 130 is $2,486,987.66. Fund 132 is $2,221,220.57. Fund 133 is $17,934,733.52, and Fund 134 is $78,594,303.70. We ask for your approval.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 5B, discussion possible action regarding the submittal of projects to the Texas Water Development Board Flood Insertion Fund intended use plan. What we would like to do, we have 5 established areas that we've identified in our district that cover various areas, and we developed them based on watershed. And we would like for the board to consider granting the authority for myself in communication with the board to draft the application, get all the information put together, and submit the plans as needed before the June 15th deadline. I know we had a workshop on this yesterday. We could rank the projects, but I want, based on conversations that we've been having, we had conversations yesterday with some of the individuals that have been helping us with communications with the Water Development Board and other agencies in Austin. We feel that it may be better suited to package all projects together. We're going to continue those conversations and be in a position to make the most optimal submittal for our county.
So what's the actual request, Raul, that we approve the 5 projects that you've recommended, and then that you're going to submit these applications based off of a final ranking?
Yes, sir.
And some may be for grants, some may be for loans?
Yes, sir. We're still vetting on that information to discuss. Obviously, what we would like to do is pursue everything as grant / loan combination, sir, but we're asking that question regarding the possibility of putting some as 0% loan as well. And I would like that flexibility. We still have time, but we need to start reaching out to the to our local partners, cities, and so forth. We'll be working with the precincts on that. But yes, sir, get that authority so we can start that process.
I think that I'm okay with giving you the flexibility to apply for the 0% loans on the projects, maybe that we don't submit for a grant. But I would like to at least identify that we're going to do at least one project via the grant process. And if the other 4 go in, and maybe all of them go through a grant process, but I would like to approve this with at least one of them going to the grant application process. And then the other ones we can submit 0% loans if we don't apply for the grant.
Based on that, sir, I would recommend, based on the discussion we had and the way the numbers are lining up, the watershed P1A, what we're calling, which is the Mercedes Lateral watershed, it encompasses a large area. Based on the grant combination alone, would give us the biggest, I guess, opportunity for reimbursement and for redistribution to be able to develop more projects in our district.
Okay, well, I'm okay with the recommendation that you've given us. I'll make a motion to approve.
And second.
Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
What is 2? Oh, yeah. Pursuant to the board's approval of the submittal of projects to Texas Water Development Board, request approval to complete and submit 2020 flood project bridge application and subsequent forms of approval for the chairman of the board to execute.
Just one last thing, Raul, with respect to this, just report back to us on what we determined.
Of course.
And it doesn't, you can update us via memos, phone calls, and obviously put something on the agenda after we've determined that you're submitting these applications on our behalf.
Yes, sir. I will be in close communication with all of you. Yes, sir.
Move for approval on 5B2.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. 5C, discussion, consideration, and action to extend group dismissal of Dow County Generation 1 employees by government authority due to COVID-19 public health emergencies from April 27th to for the board's director's action on March 24th, agenda item 74981A. Judge, commissioners, I don't know if this is something you will be discussing during the county agenda. I know on the previous action that was taken back in April 27th. Excuse me, the March 24th. You discussed it and deliberated in the county, and then came back and you recessed the district. I don't know if you want to follow that same process on this one, or if you are ready to deliberate on this now. What would you like to do?
Judge, Commissioners, this is Valde. Mr. Cecina, I would recommend that you would continue with the rest of your items, and you would recess the drainage district, as this is also an item that's going to be considered by the Commissioners Court of the county. And then we can, after that discussion and action, then we can come back to the drainage district so that we can all be uniform.
Excellent. So we'll move on to item D, requesting approval of final negotiated professional service agreement number C8CDD 120-225-0421 with Melody Engineering Group, Inc. as it relates to professional construction material testing service on call and NSC the basic documentation number 1 projects, subject to review approved for negotiation by the Board of Directors on 4/7/2020.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
A, approve additional payment on the following items, proceeding review and compliance contract terms and conditions. Item 1, application for payment number 2 in the amount of $53,353.13 for Morewell LLC pertaining to construction contract with ACDD 1-19-0020-109 Farm McAllen drain improvements. Everything's in order.
Move for approval.
Second.
Quick question, Raul, is that project complete?
We have already completed the whole crossing, Commissioner. We've got the road, everything in place, just finishing the work right there at the crossing. We have been working with Irrigation District number 2. We're trying to get the approval because they stopped us from crossing their canal because they had that lining project that they were doing for their whole system. They didn't want us and their contractor working in the area or while they were on that project. We've requested from them already in writing to allow us to get back on site and do our work, and we're pending their response. Once we do, we're going to do the crossing underneath the canal, and we'll be out of there.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. 6B, 1, acceptance certificate of substation completion and certificate of construction completion for Morewell LLC pertaining to construction contract number ACDD 1-19-0640-903 Dago Drain Military Road Crossing.
So move.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 2, application for payment number 3, retainage in the amount of $24,839.75 for Morewell LLC pertaining to construction contract number ACDD 1-19-0640-903 Dago Drain Military Road Crossing. Engineer Sam's Engineer. Everything's in order for the payment.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item C, requesting authority to advertise and approval of plan specifications developed by project engineer LNG for the accommodation number 1 last week plus 2018 bond referendum project 17 RFP number ACDD 1-20-010-0520, including the re-advertising of the project in the event no bids for sponsor received and or rejected project still required.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item D, requesting authority to advertise and approval of plan specifications developed by project engineer Seguida Engineering LLC for downtown drainage number 1 PD lateral phase 1 2018 bond referendum project number 29. RFP number ACDD 1-20-026-0520, including the advertising of the project in the event no bids responses are received and or rejected, and project is still required.
We have a motion and a second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
7A, requesting authority to advertise and approval of plan specification developed by Jose Saldivar here from my office, engineering for last week, plus Hidalgo Park Estates, RFP number ACD 1-20-021-0520, including the advertising of the project in the event no bids for sponsor received and or rejected project still required.
Move for approval.
Second.
Second.
Discussion. None? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
7B, presentation of statements qualification received for RFQ number ACDD 120-022-0401, litigation legal services related to ongoing litigation matter and pursuant of claims against one or more parties needed for the purpose of the following. A evaluation ranking by the board of directors. This is the item that we had 2 weeks ago. We provided the packets, and the discussion was to bring it back for this agenda item. Ivan, is there anything you want to comment on?
At this point, we just need a ranking, and then subsequent agenda item is an approval of that ranking so that the contract can be negotiated with the number one firm.
I thought didn't the Chiefs do the ranking? Oh,
During the last meeting, there was an item on the agenda to either allow the board to do the ranking or to delegate the ranking to the drainage district administration or any other. And the direction we received last meeting was that the board was going to rank the firms. So that's why it's written like this on today's agenda.
it was the pleasure of the commissioner.
I'm ready to rank.
Me too.
So what I could make a motion to rank the Chamberlain group number 1 and the Butch Boyd group number 2. Is that what I would do, Ivan?
Yeah, you can propose your ranking through motion. Yes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Is there any discussion? Here none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Pursuant to the board approval, authority for declaration one to negotiate with the number one ranked firm of Chamberlain, Arlett, White, Williams, and Augustry PC for a fair and reasonable fee for the purpose of entering a contract for litigation, legal services related to ongoing litigation matter and pursuit of claims against one or more parties as needed with selected well-qualified law firm on the basis of demonstrated competence, qualifications, and experience in requested legal services.
Move for approval.
Second.
Again.
Go ahead. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
We'll work with Ivan on this, judging, and we'll bring it back as soon as we have something ready.
All right, good enough.
8A, requesting approval of closing documents for parcel 4 as it relates to Sunflower Drain Extension Project and authority for the chairman of the board to execute documents.
Move for approval.
Again.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
8B, requesting approval of closing documents for parcel 3 as it relates to Sunflower Drain Extension Project and authority for the chairman of the board to execute documents pending final legal review.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
We do have just a couple small items on executive session.
Okay, pursuant to Subchapter C of the Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, we will be adjourning to discuss those items in executive session. Any action to be taken will be taken in open session. I have a motion to retire to closed session.
So move.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Carries. We'll be back.
We're back.
Okay, we're back.
I'm told we're back. So we're back from executive session. Are there any action items to be taken?
On 10A, possible action real estate acquisition will proceed as directed, sir. 10B, possible action pending provincial litigation, nothing to report, sir. Go ahead.
There will be a motion and board action on that 10A to allow the to proceed as directed in the closed session.
I have such a motion, please.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We're not going to adjourn the meeting. We're going to recess the meeting, and we'll come back after our Commissioners Court meeting to discuss item 5C. I have a motion to recess the meeting.
So move.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Good morning again. I'm County Judge Richard Cortez. On March the 16th of 2020, Governor Greg Abbott granted a request by the Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton to temporarily suspend a limited number of open meetings laws to the extent necessary to allow telephonic and video conference meetings in response to the COVID-19. In accordance with those suspended rules, the notice of this meeting of the Commissioners Court for Hidalgo County has been posted online for at least 72 hours. Although members of the Commission are not gathered in a central physical location, we will have a quorum in attendance at this meeting by a video conference or telephone call. The Commission is meeting by the use of Zoom software and telephone transmission, which allows two-way communication from members of the public during the public participation forum. This meeting is being broadcast live online. As we would in any in-person meeting, members of the public who have followed the instructions of the meeting notice will be permitted to participate in the public forum portion of the agenda. If you would like to participate in a public forum at a future meeting conducted by a video conference or telephone call, please follow the instructions on the posted meeting notice. All other meeting procedures will adhere to board adopted procedures to the extent practical. We apologize in advance for any unforeseen technical difficulties and ask for your patience as we navigate through this unprecedented conditions. The time now is 10:36, and we'll begin with a roll call.
David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
Eddie Cantu, Precinct 2.
Joe Flores, Precinct 3.
Ali Torres, Precinct 4.
Richard Cortez, County Judge, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic, one under God,
Liberty and justice for all.
Most merciful God, we come to you in our weakness. We come to you in our fear. We come to you with trust, for you alone are our hope. We place before you the disease present in our world. We turn to you in our time of need. Bring wisdom to doctors. Give understanding to scientists. Fill policymakers with sound judgment. Endow caregivers and first responders with compassion and generosity. Protect our community. Bring healing to those who are ill. Protect those who are most at risk. Give comfort to those who have lost a loved one. Welcome those who have died into your eternal home. Unite us in our compassion. Remove all fear from our hearts. Fill us with confidence in your care. In your holy name we pray. Thank you. Can we go ahead and approve the consent agenda first?
Judge Commissioners. With your permission, I'd like to take out of order consent agenda item 10D, 10F, and 9A and B.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve the main part of the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Judge Commissioners, for the record, Commissioner Fuentes will abstain from any discussion and or action on consent agenda items 9A and 9B.
May I have a motion to approve that?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Let the record show that Commissioner Fuentes abstained from discussion or voting.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, Commissioners, consent agenda item 10D. We're recommending approval, subject to the Form 1295 being submitted to the appropriate parties, Purchasing Department and the Auditor's Office.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Judge, Commissioners, consent agenda item 10F. Again, we recommend approval, subject to the Form 1295 being submitted to the appropriate parties, being the Purchasing Department and the Auditor's Office.
Move for approval.
Again.
All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
I'm going to move item 21, open forum, now. So that
Okay. Mr. Lopez, do we have anyone signed up for open forum?
Yes, I'm going to let him in right now.
Okay. Could you allow the first individual to get on open forum?
They're inside and unmuted.
Okay, so for the individual that's online or on the phone for open forum, please note that there is a 3-minute time limit with respect to the comment period under open forum. I will begin the 3 minutes when you begin your presentation.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is a
Ms.
unique way. Yes.
Ms. McClarity, for the record, Ms. McClarity did submit some participation items, and so she will speak on items 9C, 9D, 9F, 15C, 19C, and 20A3. Ms. McClarity?
Yes. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good morning, Commissioners. This is a unique way of appearing before you, but it is a sign of the times, and I appreciate the opportunity. I was watching television when the President said that this was the first time in U.S. history that all 50 states had been under a major emergency declaration. After thinking about this statement, I reviewed the county's agenda for today and saw the number of individuals to be hired and the continued salary increases that appear every meeting. I am a small business owner, and if I operated this way, I would be out of business quickly. As it is right now for your shelter-in-place order, I'm just about there anyway. Based on your actions, it does not seem that you care about the people that you represent. If you cared, you would not keep spending and increasing the people's debt. The idea that all will be fine because the increase in our population will improve our potential to obtain more federal money will not work. We are involved in a nationwide disaster, and our government has responded with at least a $3 trillion stimulus package. There will not be any money to address social issues. Hidalgo County will be left with 30,000 to 40,000 more poor people who will not be able to pay their property taxes. So how do I think, so you might think, how do I have all this wisdom to see into the future? It's easy. I got my 2020 property value statements from the appraisal district. Based on friends and neighbors, the value increases are running 22 to 45% increase. The courthouse that was supposed to cost $150 million, but now costs $360 million, and that continues to increase. Combined with a shelter-in-place order will devastate a population with a 40% poverty rate, and believe me, that will be going up. The 3,500 people who work for the county will be fine. They get their salary, retirement, health care, sick leave, but the 1 million people who work in the private sector do not. They just get the bill. My point is this commission has failed the people by increasing their debt beyond their ability to pay. It seems that you do not realize that the people are poor. What the Owls are trying to do is petition the governor to freeze property values at their 2019 level. He may be able to do this under his emergency power during a statewide disaster. Since this is both a state and national disaster, it would be extremely important to the people and the economy. I would like our county judge to know that a county judge out of Fort Bend County, Texas, today, in fact, I have already proposed a resolution on Tuesday, April 21st, for the county commissioners to adopt, calling for a major relief by our state officials. He said the power to revert property appraisals to the 2019 level lies solely in the hands of our state elected officials, such as our governor, our comptroller, and our legislators. So I would like the judge to see that letter, and I would, and all the people here in Hidalgo County that are just say we can go back to work. Okay, my question now, I'm going from open forum to my questions on the agenda. I'm assuming I do them now and then. And
Mr. Carter, my apologies. We're having a bit of technical issues with the audio. Could you repeat that question, please?
Oh, that last one? All right, it's 9C. It says create a road maintenance foreman. And it's talking about a $70,137.41. This is not a raise. This is creating a new position for someone. And like I said, we're out here struggling, and we're not. Here we go again, a burden. So I was wondering if, are you going to talk about it now or when it comes up on the agenda?
Ramirez, Josephine, what is the proper?
Judge, right now is open forum. We're not doing public participation where
she's already finished with open forum. She's now wanting to discuss public participation on an item that hasn't come before us yet. Do we let her say whatever she wants to about the items that she chose to speak on, or do we wait until we have them?
You'll have an opportunity to address those concerns at the time the item is presented.
So
Should you choose?
She can do that now?
No, she will not have another opportunity, but you, judge, and commissioners will have an opportunity to respond to any concerns that have been raised at the time the item is addressed.
Okay, so I go ahead and ask my questions on each item. Is that correct?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, you may continue.
All right, like I said, we're getting a complete new employee on that on 9C. Now, when I put in 9D, that was from 2 weeks ago on the agenda. And what it is, and then today's, which is 9F, 2 weeks ago, you hired 8 positions at $347,000, and then this week you're hiring 4 more positions, and this is about the COVID-19 at $189,760 for a total of $536,926. That's a total of 12 new positions. And I know that Eddie is going to say, well, that is all federal money or it's a grant. Well, the problem is, will these people be going away after this is gone and spending this kind of money? And I looked at the county's website. We only have 268 positive cases in Hidalgo County. And we have tested 2,400, And out of that 2,400, there's only 268 that are positive. And so we're wondering why we're spending so much money at this time when we're not that many people that have it. So we'd like you to discuss that one, if you will. And that is 9F. And I hope that didn't confuse anyone. All right. The next one is 15C. We see that this one is under, I believe, Head Start. Once again, I know this is federal money, but guess who pays the federal money? For a cost of living adjustment, and several of these people, the head of the department is already getting $109,803, and now with this COLA, she'll be getting $112,819.20. You have another one that's getting $90,000 who will get $92,000. And then you've got $89,000 to something, which will get $91,748. And our question is, at this time when everyone else is hurting here, again, someone's getting raises. So we're have a hard time with this. I'm ready to get a job with the county because my goodness, and everybody else, their businesses are going under. 19C, we have two that are going to be a deputy constable and I believe someone from the DA's office. And we're looking at $1,400 for a raise on one. And then the other one, again, is getting $2,613. Again, raises. How can you do that to the people that are sitting here with no money coming in? And then the last one is 20A3. And we don't quite understand. This was on the last agenda or so. We would like y'all to discuss what it is. We don't understand purchasing case of public calamity, if necessary, to make the purchase promptly to relieve the necessity of the citizens. And it's talking about, so we don't quite understand what that one is. So when y'all get to it, if you'll kind of discuss how all these people either can be hired, get raises at this time when all the rest of the small businesses are obeying the county judge's rule and not opening our businesses. And that's all my questions.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, let's go with item 5A, Sheriff's Department Office.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Captain Friedland with the Sheriff's Office. Under item 5A, we're requesting authorization for County Judge as Chief Executive Officer to sign the certification and assurances by the Chief Executive of the applicant government as requested by the U.S. Department of Justice Office of Justice Programs Edward Byrne Justice Assistant Grant, fiscal year 2019.
Move for approval.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Under 5B, the Coronavirus Emergency Supplemental Funding Program, JAG 1282, Part 1, we're asking authorization and approval to apply for the Coronavirus Emergency Supplemental Funding. Part 2.
Go ahead.
Part 2, discussion, consideration, review, and approval of the program application, strategies, and narrative for the grant. Part 3, authorization for county judge to sign as authorized representative. Part 4, authorization for county judge to sign number 11210329 as authorized representative. 5, authorization for county sheriff to sign 0348-0046 as Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office Department Head. And number 6, authorization for the county judge to certify the required documentation and application under grants management system as authorized official.
Move for approval.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Under 5C, requesting authorization and approval of emergency medical program affiliation agreement for EMS personnel between the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office and South Texas Health Systems, with authorization for Hidalgo County Sheriff Eddie Guerra as authorized official to sign the affiliation agreement.
Move for approval.
Second. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Item 6A.
6A, Judge Commissioners, with your permission, for Constable Precinct 2. This is for fiscal year 2020. It's Operation Stone Garden. It's authorization to request a grant adjustment for a 1-month extension for fiscal year 2020, Operation Stone Garden, and that's grant number 3174804. And this is with authority for county judge to certify adjustments on e-grants.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Good morning, Judge. Constable Precinct 4, Constable Jared Gaitan, 7A. Discussion, consideration, approval to appoint Juan Ricardo Guzman Jr., Cesar Adan Perales. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Cesar Adan Perales and Casey John Mendoza as Deputy Constables by Constable Gaitan. Precinct 4 in accordance with Texas Local Government Code Section 86.011.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Judge. That's all I have.
Motion carries.
Judge Commissioners, with your permission, item 8A, the Executive Office. There's no action under item 8A1 and 2. Item 8B, requesting approval to submit application to the Texas State Library and Archives Commission for accreditation into state library system with authority for the county judge to sign.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 8C, I'm requesting authorization and approval to apply for 2 building permits with the City of Edinburgh for portable buildings for the purpose of facilitating COVID-19 response measures with authority for county judge and or executive officer to execute the application.
Move for
Approval.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item 9A.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I can hear you, but I can't see you. You're still losing weight.
I'm staying where I am.
Well,
Commissioners, number 9A, Human Resources, Raul Siliguero. Item 9A, requesting a waiver of the following if applicable for personnel items that are listed. Number 1, Civil Service Commission Rules, Section 3.22. Hidalgo County, number 2, Hidalgo County Personnel Policy Manual, Section 6.27. And number 3, Budget Amendment Policy for personnel-related amendments. Request approval of those requests.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. We're going to later, Padre?
Yes, we're gonna take 9B later down the agenda. So Mr. Silguero, if you can go on to item 9C.
Yes, sir. Item 9C, this is for Precinct 3 road maintenance. Precinct 3 is requesting approval of the following personnel action effective next full pay period, 4/27. And this is the action requested is to create slot 0117 road maintenance foreman at grade 12. And this is from the Precincts Road and Bridge money.
Approval.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item D, 9D, for the tax office, approval of the following personnel action effective next full pay period, 4/27. Judge Commissioner, this is a continuing work that I'm doing with the tax office to implement the career ladder and the stepping grade under the stepping grade program. It's within their budget. They leave the positions vacant for an appropriate period of time to be able to create a career ladder. They were asking for approval to delete 5 positions and to create 5 positions. They would be deleting 3 deputy clerk 1s and 2 clerk 2s, and they're creating a supervisor 1, a technician 4, and 3 deputy clerk 2s. The ones that are being deleted are all vacant, and it's within their funds.
And just, I called you about this yesterday,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Figueroa, and we discussed it, and I was comfortable with it because you mentioned to me that it was part of the step and grade, which everybody's been trying to get on board with. So because of that, I'll make the motion.
Yes, sir. They were, when we were implementing the step and grade, they had other issues going, and we were not able to work with them at that time. So we've been helping them over the last 12 months or so.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 2 on D2 is approval to revise the classified positions list to include the new scofflaw technician 4 position.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion
Item 9E, this is for the Community Service Agency. The agency will be allocated a significant amount of funds to address the current corona crisis. These are special grants that will be coming. Mr. Longoria is trying to have positions available for when the funding comes, that he will be able to fill jobs as needed. These are all grant funded positions. All the employees that are hired under this grant will be signing a letter to the effect that the position will expire when the funding expires. He's asking approval to create the following personnel actions effective the next full pay period. He's
to approve all the positions mentioned on the agenda.
I'm sorry, you broke up. Was that a motion?
I made a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 9F, this is for Health and Human Services. Approval of the following personnel actions effective upon Commissioner Court. The Health Department has gotten additional grant funding to address the current corona issue that we have, and these are all grant funded positions. The employees that are hired will be signing a document to the effect that the job will expire when the funding expires. The Health Department is asking to create 4 positions: 2 COVID-19 epidemiologist 1, and 1 licensed vocational nurse, and a public health specialist. Those are 4 positions, all grant funded.
Is this I couldn't hear anyone. Did somebody make a motion? No?
I make a motion.
Our stuff keeps freezing.
Approved.
Commissioner Cantu was making a motion.
Second.
I'm not hearing it. We're having technical difficulties.
Commissioner Cantu is trying to make a motion, Judge.
No, I heard the motion and the second by Commissioner Flores, but you all are frozen. I can't hear anything after that. You're the
Judge,
only.
I'm going to suggest we take a recess until we can get IT to address the issue.
All right, thank you.
It's not broadcasting either.
Are we back on? Can you all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Judge.
Can hear you too.
I believe we left having some technical difficulties. When we were in item E, 9E, and we had a motion in a second. And
We were 9F.
I'm sorry, 9F.
Find the stock.
9F. The creation of the.
9F, I'm sorry, was it 9F?
Yes, so we were,
that's right, we were 9F.
we presented 9F, the creation of 4 COVID-related positions.
And I called the question. I believe we had a motion in a second. So I'm calling the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Silguero, you want to go ahead and proceed to the second, item 2 of F, position list?
Do you want to handle it?
Yes, I will. The second part of that creation of those COVID positions would be the revision of the classified position list to include the new COVID-19 positions.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. The next item, Judge, Commissioners, with your permission, is Urban County. I do believe we have Mr. Avila on the line.
Yes.
Thank you.
For item 10A, you want me to read that, Judge?
Yes, sir.
I'll go ahead. Item 10A is to hold a public hearing to consider public comments regarding the revision of the Hidalgo County Urban County Programs Citizens Participation Plan. I hereby call the public hearing to order. Do we have anybody who signed up to give us any comments regarding the revision?
Mr. Lopez, is there anybody on the line who'd like to make any comments with respect to agenda item 10A, the public hearing under Urban County?
Nobody on this one.
Thank you.
I therefore close the public hearing.
Okay, for item 10B is approval of a proclamation declaring April 2020 Fair Housing Month and authorizing the county judge and county clerk to sign any and all documents relating to this agenda.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 10C, subject to compliance with House Bill 1295, the Urban County Program is requesting consideration and action to award and enter into construction contract with Foremost Paving, Inc., which is the lowest responsible bidder in the amount of $459,382, utilizing the Urban County funds from fiscal years 2015, 2016, 2017, and 2018. This is for the City of La Joya Street Improvements Funds.
Approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 10D, approval of land acquisition of parcel of land needed for the City of La Villa sewer plant on a buffer zone, approximately 5 acres, utilizing the Hidalgo County Urban County Program Precinct 1 Water Sewer Improvements Funds. These are from 2017 forfeited funds from the city.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Avila.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioners.
Judge, Commissioners, with your permission, item 11A, I will present for the IT department. It's authorization and approval to purchase new wireless service plans through county's membership participation with contract DIR TSO 3415 with Verizon Wireless, and this would be for WIC, Human Resources and Facilities Management.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
When opposed, motion carries.
Judge Commissioners, with your permission, item 12, Health and Human Services. This is requesting approval to submit the amendment request to the Department of State Health Services to add $723,818 to the COVID-19 grant program for COVID-19 response.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Judge Commissioners, item 13 under the Fire Marshal's Office is discussion, consideration, approval to authorize the county judge to make a final determination to allow the sale and use of fireworks for Memorial Day weekend, subject to existing weather and climate conditions.
Good morning, Judge Commissioner.
For Memorial Day?
Memorial Day, yes, sir.
We have?
In the past, yes, sir. In the past, it doesn't require action if we're gonna allow it. It requires action if we're gonna impose any type of restriction on the type of fireworks that are being sold. But in the past, we have allowed the sale of fireworks on Memorial Day.
Commissioner, I asked for this item to be placed in the agenda because there's a deadline, I think of May the 15th or something for us to put it. We put a lot of people out of business already with a lot of these restrictions. I'm trying to accommodate.
No problem.
Earning a living, but we want to make sure that we're not endangering others. So we're going to wait to see what the projection is or the prognostication. Very dry, and we'll consider some restrictions. But I'm open to any suggestions from the commission.
I just had a question. I mean, that was my only question.
So may I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marshall.
Next Commissioners Court agenda item is 14, Community Service Agency.
Yes, Vale, thank you. I'm on the line. It's item 14A is discussion, consideration, and authorization to approve the Community Service Block Grant CSBG discretionary funds from the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs for COVID-19 related response and authorization for Jaime Longoria to electronically sign any and all pertinent documents. Judge and Commissioners, this is a very small first wave of COVID money that we will be receiving. This is the discretionary money that the state of Texas hangs on to in the event of a disaster, and then they let it out just as a temporary response. This grant is just $86,748. It's the first wave. We are fully expecting a much larger wave to come in the next 15 days or so. We're expecting an additional allocation of approximately $2 million coming in for a new CSBG grant and a $4.5 million grant coming in for additional utility assistance. So this particular grant, not to confuse you, is just $86,748.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners. Item 14B is discussion, consideration, and possible action to adopt the COVID 2019 Disaster Assistance Matrix as recommended by action of the Community Service Advisory Board. Judge and Commissioners, as an attachment, our advisory board of directors and staff work diligently to put together a menu of services that we can offer families that have been directly impacted by the COVID disaster, whether through loss of a job, through loss of income because of businesses, or being directly affected because of the disease. So we spent some time coming up with as many of the possibilities of types of assistance. We prioritized them. We looked at possible funding streams to be able to assist families to not completely recover, of course, because this is such a huge pandemic, but certainly help families to start the process of recovery. And so what you have in front of you is a matrix that takes into account some rental assistance, some funding for vehicle repair, possibly also assisting with water and sewer and trash collection, assisting families with medication, which is over-the-counter medication, helping those families that can't afford internet access, and helping them to be able to access the internet through services with such as hotspots or possibly phones that have a hotspot capability. Uber and Lyft cards for families that are struggling to get to the grocery store or that are struggling to get to their doctor's appointments and are not going to be using, we're not going to be encouraging a lot of use of mass transit for the elderly, of course. We put a provision in there for some of those families that might be affected through loss of health insurance to help them either afford a month or two worth of premiums for their families so that they can be able to continue to access health care. For those families that maybe would be facing down the road, would be facing hardship because of mortgage assistance, needing mortgage assistance, we put a provision in there. Also, fuel for vehicles and possibly emergency food and through the use of gift cards from H-E-B or Walmart or some of the local vendors as well. All in all, Judge and Commissioners, we expect, as I mentioned, an infusion of about $6.5 million. Most of that is going to be in utility assistance, but about $2 or $3 million of that in new money is going to come through our Community Services Block Grant. This is above and beyond our regular allocations. Keep in mind we have our regular 2020 allocations of these funds. And then, of course, in 2021, coming into 2021, we'll have our regular allocations there as well. I will tell you one last thing is my understanding is there's a bill being floated in Congress as we speak, which would be the fourth wave of COVID funding. And that would include about 4 times the amount of funding that we would receive in this funding. It would be almost quadruple the size of this. So there is significant additional money coming our way. And that's why we feel that it's prudent to start this program, and it's prudent to hire additional staff to be able to get families this assistance.
Jaime, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What is the total funding that you received for this?
Okay, we're expecting $4.5 million. Should be in about a week and a half to 2 weeks, Commissioner. That's for utility assistance and
right.
Additional $2 million in Community Services Block Grant.
And this is going to go through your normal first come, first serve through your agency? Are they going to be calling, or are you going to be setting up locations?
Yeah, we'd be setting up locations, Commissioner, hence the additional staff, so that we can continue our regular operation with utility assistance. We're right in the middle of our utility assistance year. We've allocated about 40% of our regular funding already on the big grant, on the $6.5 million grant.
Are you going to be putting a cap on the household on how much they can receive?
It absolutely. Each one of those silos has a capped amount that we would be able to assist, and we're going to start off with 1 month's worth of assistance for each of those. The other thing is they have to be COVID related. So when a family comes in and asks for assistance, for instance, for rental assistance, we're going to ask, so what changed in your household? How were you affected because of COVID? If they weren't affected because of COVID, then certainly we can help them with utilities, with electricity as in a regular program, but they wouldn't be eligible for this COVID money.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we're gonna do everything we can to make sure that all of this is COVID related. If they say they've applied for unemployment, well, if they say they lost their job, we're gonna encourage them to, number one, show us the letter from the Unemployment Commission, and secondly, we're gonna direct them to the unemployment office if they haven't done that. So all of this is gonna be COVID related.
Fantastic. I appreciate it. I'll make a motion to approve the matrix.
Second.
Did I hear a second? I'm sorry.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioners.
Okay.
Judge, Commissioners, our next agenda item is Head Start, item 15. Ms. Flores?
Yes, good morning. On the agenda, we have 3 items. The first one is approval, discussion and approval on revision of the Head Start program calendars related to COVID-19 outbreak and to align with partnering public school districts. Because of our partnerships, we need to continue to have our program be aligned with their calendars. And so, as you are aware, the governor has indicated that the schools will be closed till the end of the year. So at this particular point, those are our plans. We just want the authority to be able to adjust calendars without having to come every time there is a change between now and the beginning of the next school year, that we continue to be able to align with the school district calendars. Currently, we have been operating from our class, from our teachers, contacting our parents in a program we call From Our Home to Your Home, supporting our families and our children. And to the extent that we're able to continue to offer our services via telephone, via computer, however it is that we can contact them, we have made contact with all families, all 3,690 of them. All of our field staff is having contact with them. And then this past week, in addition to having the field staff, teachers, assistant teachers, support service staff from the central office, the maintenance crews, and the bus drivers, and the bus aides, and the staff at the centers have gone to go out there and to sanitize centers. We're keeping the distance as one of the things. Of course, we want to be sure that that is maintained, and we have small crews doing that. But this is in preparation to when we open. But at this time, I just wanted to give you a little glimpse of that. All of our staff is having to work from home or attending to the different sites. We have 36 sites and one central office and 2 kitchens. We also have the buses to clean. So the calendars continue to operate as the school calendars, and we just want permission to continue to do that and adjust them as we need to. We recommend approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, motion carries.
I would ask, Teresa, that you just please give us an update as that calendar changes, just so that we know. Please.
Yes, not a problem. We can continue to do that. On the next item is discussion and approval of the priority guidelines for selection and enrollment of children in the program. This was an item in the last agenda, but I did not attend to it with you because we really had not had it approved by the Policy Council. We were to have a Policy Council before it went to you, and this whole process of having to shut down prevented us from having that meeting. We did have that meeting on April the 15th, and it was approved, and the priority guidelines are in line with the new information having to do with income. And so we're submitting those for you to approve. We still have to continue to recruit children. We're figuring out how we can do it over the phone and not necessarily doing any site visits or anything like that. So we would like for you to approve the guidelines for the new school year.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Okay. The next one is the discussion and approval to submit a supplemental application for cost of living adjustment COLA and quality improvement funds. Not understanding why, but it does seem that this is one year that the Office of Head Start has been very generous with our program. First, I'd like to start by letting you know that today we did get a letter saying that the Office of Head Start has determined that your program, that's our program, is currently eligible for a non-competitive 5-year grant award to operate the program. It congratulates us and thanks us for serving the children. And so we have earned the continuous grant. So we're looking at another $140 million over the next 5 years, beginning in 2021. We're very proud of that because we do have to meet certain criteria. The last of it was in December when the assessment of children, the assessment of teachers comes in and they look at that. If you recall, Commissioner Fuentes and Commissioner Cantu were part of our review team back in January last year. And so they didn't come through with this information until now, but we're proud to tell you that we have earned our funding for the next 5 years, beginning in 2021. Now to the subject of the COLA. You have in your attachment, there are 4 items in the attachment. The first one talks about the letter of submittal. In that letter of submittal, it shows that we will be receiving $547,790 for COLA, cost of living adjustment, and we are receiving, quality improvement funds, which is one that we get ever so often, not every year, not every 5 years. We don't even know when we get it. Once in a while it comes. And that's at an amount of $981,540. As far as COLA is concerned, the Office of Head Start requires us to assure that the minimum increase will be 2%, and that moves the salaries up. As you are aware, our program competes with school districts, competes with other Head Start programs, and of course, our own county has a step and grade process. So we don't get an opportunity to increase salaries to the level of any of those entities, but we move closer every time we can. And so as far as the COLA is concerned, the $547,796, we were able to raise the COLA to 2.75% with an amount of $3,000 and some left, and they'll be going into cleaning supplies and materials. Now, on the quality improvement part of it, as I mentioned, this is not a regular distribution. It happens from time to time, but it becomes a permanent part of our funding. There are several bullets that you see in that handout. The first one has to do with to improve compensation. And in there, what we're doing with this quality money above and beyond the COLA is to move to a 2.25 for all employees except a few that I will tell you the category that we're looking at, so that employees will get the 2.75 from COLA and 2.25 from the quality improvement monies. The second bullet has to do with the teachers. So instead of the 2.25 for the teachers, we are wanting to do a little bit more than the 2.25 from the quality improvement. We want to raise it to $1,200 for the teachers and $600 for the assistant teachers and the disability assistants. That would mean that a teacher could conceivably get an increase of about $2,000, okay? A little bit more than that. Then we're looking at the next group, which is, we always have had problems in funding our bus drivers. We've increased those by the 2.75 and then an additional 700, which is a little bit more than the 2.25. And of course, the bus aides, because they also help in the classroom. This is focused on the classroom with the quality money. On the next page, we have another item there, and that one has to do with the finance department. I know that we have pointed to you that we're very slim and trim in the operation of our program. And for the last 2 years, we've not had any increases in positions. We've been at 725 in 2019 and in 2020. This is a first in terms of increasing by one slot there. We have one professional, which is a chief financial officer, and we have one coordinator. The others are non-professional staff, 3 others, for a payroll of 700 and some and a budget of 38 million. We think that this would adequately staff that department, and we're looking at an assistant chief financial officer at 57,500. Then we have a mental health services department. In our letter from the Office of Head Start, if you had a chance to look at it, it talks a lot about the whole process of trauma-informed approaches. At least a page and a half of the directives about how to use the money are suggestions about, addressing that particular one, especially with our families and our children and the situation that is occurring right now. So this will give us an opportunity to do more screening and assessments and interventions to enhance consulting with staff and children and parents, and the collaboration with local agencies to deal with substance abuse, mental health, treatment programs, domestic violence, disaster, and so on. And so in the process of looking at that, I've supplied you with additional rationale for each one of those positions. So we're looking at a director position and another counselor. So that would make a group of 3. That will help us because a lot of the things that happen with our children at home have consequences in challenging behavior that our teachers must deal with on a daily basis. And so this is a support system that's going to help them to train and to address those particular needs. Then we have in the field operations department, we have the maintenance workers, the bus drivers, we have the people at the warehouse, and of course we also have the custodial staff. And so we're wanting to have an assistant, a person to assist the director there, and we will be able to call this person a manager. And so this particular situation also calls for us to be able to remove one of our staff members at the warehouse. We are not having to go and do direct deliveries, and then with what we're facing in the future, we will not have that as much as we've had it in the past. So we think that we can be able to afford to remove that position and add this particular assistant. And then we also have in the area of teachers, we have a teachers who are coaches and help us coach our teachers who need help. And these particular teachers are certified in class reliability. If you recall, when we had our competitive process back 4 years ago, class was the area that we had a need to improve on. And so this will continue to keep us maintaining and sustaining a process so that we have that proficiency in using class. And so this would be an additional $1,000 for those coaches. We have 36 centers. We're wanting to have 36 coaches. We have them now in place, but we've not been able to give them any compensation. This will give them compensation because they do have to provide additional above and beyond their classroom help. So a teacher who's a coach may conceivably be able to get a raise of about $3,000. So we're talking about 36 of them. And then last but not least, Commissioner Torres helped us in this process, and Mr. Cecine in getting a parking lot that we need over at one of the centers that is flooded out there, and we have in Edinburgh 5, and it costs about $149,000 for the paving. We went ahead and set aside that money to be able to do that paving so we could move forward. Commissioner Torres was going to see out there how she could help us find funds for it. So we're going to be a little bit short, but we think we can make up the difference somehow or other to be able to get that paving done. And that's the final item in there. If you look at the last one, there's a recap in there, and it shows funding to be a total of $981,540 for the quality improvement funds. At this time, I would entertain any questions. As I mentioned to you, there's rationales that are more detailed attached in there for you. But we believe that this is a reasonable request to get those additional staff funded. As I mentioned to you, we have not had any increases in funding. We believe we've been very streamlined in our operations, and we work as hard as we can to be able to maximize everybody's skills in doing what we do. So at this time, I entertain any questions that you might have.
Is there a local match component to any of this?
Yes, there's a local match, and we bring it up through our own salaries from the teachers that participate from the school districts. That has always been a great source for us, and we've never had any issues or problems in meeting our local match. So when you look at the $140 million there's to come, you think about how it is that you have to have a 20% match. That's how much more we'll be able to generate from our partnerships and from rentals and from buildings that we're using in school districts, because the school districts are allowing us to use a lot of their classrooms. And so we are in many different classrooms that the school districts provide for us. I'd like to also bring to your attention that our children are being fed by school districts. Our children are able to qualify since they are dual enrolled with the school district. So all of our families are going to centers that are providing food for them, breakfast and lunch. And so that's how our families are being fed right now while the children are home.
It says here you have 92 teachers that have bachelor's degrees?
Yes, sir.
And are these in locations where you don't have a participating school district?
No, they're spread throughout, sir. that we don't necessarily assign them. We have the district teachers that have their bachelors, and then these ones are just spread, some by choice because they live closer to certain places, but no, we have not gone out there and done that. Many of these teachers that you're looking at are probably our coaches, you know, they're bachelor's degree staff. And so if they qualify for teaching, we've had some that stay with us, some that choose to go with the district, but we're fine with it because in the past we have always employed about 30 to 35% are former parents who qualified for Head Start, who were in a cycle of poverty that now they moved out of. They've gotten educated, they've become teachers, and they're out there. And so our whole process of helping people go to school still remains as part of our program. We still provide release time. We let them go to school for 4 hours a week, beginning at 3:30, and we pay their tuition and fees if they're going into education. Many of our assistant teachers have become teachers. They've moved from assistant teachers to teachers. And then if they get certified and go work with the school district, they have even come back as teachers of the school district in our classroom. So we are very pleased with that process. That has been a process that's been sustained for many years, for at least 10 years or more. So yes, we do have them in different places, but no, we don't have them signed in a particular order. Any other questions? The staff is sending me all kinds of emails of samples of parents helping kids at home that we're so proud of, because we have tried to support the parents in teaching roles that they have never done before. And so I think that they're doing a fantastic job. In addition, it helps us to know how the family is doing health-wise, and whether they're taking care of their needs or if they're experiencing a particular need, and we do referrals. So we have our staff that works with that part too.
I have a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you all very much for your support, and I am thinking that the staff is going to be excited to hear what you all have done today, and I'll send an email that will reach all of them. Thank you very much.
Judge, Commissioners, with your permission, item 16 for WIC. This is their program 001, which is Fund 1292, and this is requesting approval for County Judge to e-sign the HHSC contract number 2017-049851-001, signature page for amendment number 5.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
What opposed? Motion carries.
Item 17 is for Commissioner Precinct 2, Commissioner Cantu.
Yeah, I have Mondo here, but I'll read it. Discussion, consideration, approval of a contribution in aid of construction agreement for electric distribution service with AEP for the relocation of electrical facility service for the Precinct 2 Javelina Drive Extension Project. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Requesting approval, thank you all. Requesting approval of amendment number 2 to the interlocal cooperation agreement with Hidalgo County Irrigation District number 2, approved by Commissioners Court on 12/11/18 and 7/1/19 to allow Hidalgo County Irrigation District number 2 to reconstruct the irrigation pipeline for the Precinct 2 Javelina Drive Extension Project.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
One opposed? Motion carries. Item 18A.
18A, requesting approval of interlocal agreement by and between Hidalgo County and Hidalgo County Drainage District number 1 as it relates to a drainage study and assessment for Hidalgo County Precinct number 4. Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
One opposed? Motion carries. to Sergio Run.
Item 19, Sergio for Budget and Management. I do see the icon for DBM HR.
I just need a clarification on this. I don't think we're paying for anything or authorizing a payment. I think we're just talking about the benefits or expansion of benefits. Can I get a clarification on that before?
Commissioner, I believe you are correct. This is to opt in to the program.
So I don't think I have a conflict on this, as long as we're not, as long as we're just talking about the design of the benefit, then I'm okay.
All right. Let me get.
There's different scenarios. Scenario 2, scenario 3. Which one are we going to go with?
We're getting Sergio here shortly.
Well, it moves our cost from 80% to 100%, because I understand it.
I think just out of an abundance of caution, I'm going to go ahead and abstain from this, from both items.
So, Commissioner
19A and 19B.
Okay, so Commissioner Fuentes, then for the record, 19A, 19B, you are abstaining.
I'm going to go ahead and do that just to be safe.
Okay.
I would like an explanation of this. I saw the charts and so forth, but I really couldn't capture what was trying to be.
Yes, Commissioner. Sergio will be on the line just here in a couple seconds.
Okay.
Can we take some other items while we're waiting? Can we go to well, they're all his.
Judge, we could go to purchasing.
Yeah, let's go to purchasing. Let's do something. Now I've got a 1 o'clock with the other county judges. Marty, are you there? You want to go to purchasing?
No, Judge, I believe that purchasing was going to call in from as well. So Sergio is going to try an alternate route. He's going to call in here in a couple seconds.
Okay. May I make a comment, Josie? It doesn't have.
Judge, Commissioners, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, Sergio.
Okay, let me read my agenda item real quick. Agenda item 19A, discussion, consideration, and approval to opt in into Aetna CVS Health and Aetna Liberalization Program, which covers inpatient treatment by participating providers of COVID-19 diagnosis and related complications at 100%. Commissioners, basically what this is doing is we're opting in to provide 100% cost of the treatment. So we'll be paying for the other 20% of the medical insurance or the actual member cost for any COVID-related treatments. This should be cost neutral based on the models that we've been provided by Gallagher, our consultant. We should see some additional savings based on procedures that are being either canceled or deferred because of this pandemic, and also because of increased use in our telehealth. We're able to achieve some savings and be able to pay for the treatment for county employees at 100% and still generate a small surplus in our claims cost. We are recommending approval.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second. Second.
Okay. Sergio, I mean,
yes, sir.
We have several grants in the Central, et cetera. Would some of these costs qualify under some other grants that we're having?
Not for county employees. These costs would not be part of those grants. No.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 19B is approval of medical coverage for temporary employee as listed below. As per the Affordable Care Act, IRS Code Section 4980H. And this is for a temporary employee that has met the threshold of number of hours worked and we're required to provide insurance for them.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Item 19C is approval of salary schedule changes as per Exhibit A in accordance with the CCC pay plan. And these are not necessarily raises. These are a lateral transfer of a deputy constable that was working under an interlocal that is just moving under the constable's regular budget. And then the other one is a discretionary step for a DA to step 3. And that's based on the level of experience that the incoming assistant DA has.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 19D1 is approval of 2020 certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor for TxDOT project closeout, Mile 2 West project, and the amount of $284,674.86.
So moved.
Second.
I heard something, but I couldn't distinguish. We have a motion and a second to approve.
Yes, sir.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
In item 19D2 is approval of appropriation of funds from restricted funds for the County Clerk's Record Archive Program in the amount of $501,480.
So moved.
Is there a second? Did I hear a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Mr. Cruz. Marty?
Yes, sir.
20A1, Hidalgo County Purchasing Department. A1 is requesting approval and execution of an easement and right-of-way agreement with AEP Texas for the new construction of the Hidalgo County Courthouse. Hello?
Will you please again?
Did they hear? Judge, could you hear me?
No. Well, I hear you, but I have not heard a motion or a second.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item A2 is acceptance and approval to execute amendment number 7 between Dow County and architect HDR to include additional services and a lump sum of $21,750 under the construction of the new Hidalgo County Courthouse, and this is for testing of the curtain wall that is required next week.
So moved.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 3, this is a restatement of an agenda item as posted on the agenda from March 21st to include all applicable Hidalgo County elected offices, departments, programs, or agencies from various funding sources, with further detail as follows: exemption from competitive bidding requirements, Texas Local Government Code 262-024A1 and 2. This is to encompass from all of the purchases necessary during this COVID situation that we've had to make or will be making.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion favors say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item B1 for precinct 1, acceptance and approval to execute the final form of on-call services survey services agreement with Quintanilla Headley and Associates as approved for negotiations back on March 24th by Commissioner's Court.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Item C1, precinct 2, requesting approval for Hidalgo County Auditor to process and issue checks in the amount of $1,125 prior to services being rendered. This is in order to engage the RAS, which is the Registered Accessibility Specialist, for the Architectural Barriers Act that need to be done for the plan review for Precinct 2's Valle Alto Park Youth Facility.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item D1 for Precinct 3, requesting approval of an interlocal agreement between Hidalgo County and the City of Benitez.
Move for approval.
Second.
Second.
Say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Item B, in accordance with the Texas Government Code 7791.014, Hidalgo County, Texas, acting by and through Hidalgo County Commissioner's Court. This is to explain and further detail that both this ILA is to assist each other in projects to be defined by mutual agreement through the ILA, agreeing to assist each other with equipment, materials, and manpower.
Move for approval.
No, move approval.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item D2, pursuant to Hidalgo County's exiting elected officials expenditure policy, we're requesting the approval to renew and extend the options under the same rates, terms, and conditions for the lease of land for a solid waste citizens collection site in Sullivan City with Mr. Abel Rodriguez.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item E1, IT, acceptance and approval of the amendment to the end-use license agreement between Tyler Technologies and Hidalgo County for the maintenance and support services.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item F1, countywide, 1A, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements, Texas Local Government Code 262-024A4, a personal service.
So move.
For approval.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item B is acceptance of the proposed scope of services and authority to enter into a personal services contract with Platinum Translation LLC, DBA Monica S. Rosser, for the provision of translation and interpreting services for Hidalgo County, with further detail is provided in the background.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item C is acceptance and approval of 3 invoices for Monica Rosser, Platinum Translation, for services rendered under emergency circumstances due to COVID-19 for the translation of Hidalgo County judges' orders and/or amended orders.
Move for approval.
Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much. That's all I have.
Judge, Commissioners, we've already entertained open forum. I'm going to ask that the judge call the closed session.
Okay, pursuant to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, is Section 551.071, .072, .074, and .087. We will be retired to executive session to discuss those items in closed. May I have a motion to do so?
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Carries. We're retired to closed session.
You can go ahead and start.
Okay. So, Commissioners, give me 1 second, please. Commissioners, we're back in open session. And so, Commissioner Cantu, we are now on item 25, open session. So item 25A, real estate acquisition appropriation for same. There's no action to be taken today. Item 25B, pending and or potential litigation. There's no action to be taken today. Item 25C, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding response to public health emergency. There's no action to be taken on that item. 25D, deliberation regarding the following economic development negotiations pursuant to Chapter 551, Texas Government Code Section 551.087, Project Oil. We will just proceed as directed. Item 25E, claim of Fidela Valladares. Commissioners, I'd like a motion to assign the claim of Fidela Valladares to Ms. Josephine Ramirez's office for county defense.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Okay. Item 25F, claim of Edu Villegas Garza Moreno. Commissioners, I'd like a motion to assign the following claim again, Edu Villegas Garza Moreno, to Ms. Josephine Ramirez's office for county defense.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
I would like then to return back to item 22 of the regular agenda. Item 22 is consideration or discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding A, county response to disaster health emergency. There is no action to be taken on that item. 22B, measures necessary to preserve public health and safety. There is no action to be taken on that item. 22C, direction regarding county government operations, including but not limited to essential functions. With that being said, I'd like to refer back to item 9C. Sorry. 9B, my apologies. 9B, which is under human resources, and 9B will be discussion, consideration, and action to extend group dismissal of County of Hidalgo employees by the governing authority due to COVID-19 public health emergency from April 27, 2020 to May 8, 2020 for Commissioners Court action on March 4, 2020, agenda item 74972 with the following conditions. Ms. Josephine?
Commissioners, that would be with the clarification that, number one, county elected offices and departments will continue to determine which employees will be required to do telework. Number two, those county departments will continue to submit operational plans to the executive officer for approval. And number three, this item will exclude precinct field operations.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Hey, commissioners, then I would like to then I'm sorry, my apologies. Then for the record, regular agenda item 24A, there is no action to be taken, and item 24B, there is no action to be taken. Counselor, if I'm not mistaken, that are all items under Commissioner's Court? Okay, Commissioners, with that being said, there is no need to go into closed session again, item 26, or open session, item 27. So I will ask the court, Commissioner's Court, to adjourn Commissioner's Court and then return back to the Drainage District agenda.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. I'd like to go back into the Drainage District meeting. Do we need a motion for that?
Yes, we have Drainage District on the line.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Sassine, with your permission, I believe the item to be considered is.
Father, real quick. Do we need a motion to go back into the drainage meeting?
No, you just need to open it up, recall it.
Got it.
Okay.
We did it.
Okay. So, Mr. Sassine, with your permission, if I'm not mistaken, the item at hand for the Drainage District pending is item 5C.
That is correct.
Okay, so it is discussion, consideration, and action to extend group dismissal of Hidalgo County Drainage District #1 employees by the governing authority due to COVID-19 public health emergency from April 27th, 2020 to May 8th, 2020 for the Board of Directors action on March 24th, 2020, agenda item number 74981A with the following condition. Or the clarification would be that this action would exclude the drainage field operations and with authority for Mr. Sassine to decide and determine which employees would be teleworking, would be eligible to telework. Councilor Perez, is that acceptable? With respect?
Yeah, that sounds consistent with what was done in the Commissioner's Court.
Thank you. Commissioners?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Mr. Sassine, I believe that addresses all the agenda items for the Drainage District?
That is correct. Thank you very much.
Okay. Commissioners, all that's left is adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, guys. See y'all soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.